I have the ball with my midfielder and I'm looking to wrap the ball into the striker's feet using the driven pass. The defender can't react quick enough and we managed to get our goal from there. Yes guys, it's Tom here. I'm a professional FIFA player for XL and I'm here today to teach you how to attack in the 4-4-2 using my three main tips. The first one is how to use the player lock. The second one is using the driven pass effectively. And number three is using possession effectively in attack. So tip number one is going to be the player lock. And as we can see in this clip, I use it effectively to bend my run around the centre back and give me a chance of shooting in on goal. And I managed to get the chip off and time it to perfection. We can see in this clip here, I have the ball with my left midfielder and I press L1 to trigger his run. However, I'm not happy with where he's running. So I use the player lock effectively to control my striker. You press the left and right analog stick in at the same time and then press the right stick to who you want to receive the ball with. So now what I want to do with my striker is bend my run round the centre back. So when I receive the through ball, I'm going to be bearing down on goal, which is exactly what we do here. It now means I'm in a very dangerous position and we apply the finishing touch using a chipped finish. So here we have another clip. I use the player lock to make sure that my left midfielder is in a good position to pick up the space. And as the attack progresses here, I leave the defender with two options. He either goes to press the man with the ball or he has to mark my player lock at the back post. This time, he doesn't quite know where to go. He doesn't know what option to choose, and we use that to our advantage. As you can see at the back post, I time my run with Ginola, and he manages to head it in from the cross. Now the player lock is effective because you get to decide where the receiver picks the ball up. So it's really, really useful in space because in a tight area, it might be tricky to pull off. So tip number two is how to effectively use the driven pass. And as we can see in this clip, I have the ball with my midfielder and I'm looking to wrap the ball into the striker's feet using the driven pass. The defender can't react quick enough and we managed to get our goal from there. So as we can see in this clip, I pick the ball up out wide my left midfielder and I'm looking to create the angle of passing to one of my two strikers. So I managed to recycle the ball. I go back to my midfielder and as we can see, I've triggered my striker's run and I have two strikers to hit now, which I want to hit with the driven pass. To perform the driven pass, we use R1 and X at the same time. And we can see here, as I use it, it comes perfectly into the space and I get my shot off before the centre back can get there. Now, as we can see in this clip, the play is very congested over one side. We have the ball in my right midfielder and we can see a lot of his defence is currently over this side of the pitch. So I'm going to use the driven pass to effectively shift the ball over to the other side of the box and create some space. We can see from one centre midfielder to another, we managed to use that driven pass. He now doesn't have enough bodies over the other side of the box to deal with my 2-on-1 situation. So once I'm using the driven pass, I just use a through ball to get in behind his defence and we create the chance from there. In my opinion, the best place to use a driven pass is when you're starting attacks from the wide positions and you want to move the ball inside into your strikers as soon as possible. The reason why I say this is because it will allow you to create chances very quickly and that your defenders won't be able to react quickly enough to what you're doing. Possession in attack. So what does this actually mean? Well, I've noticed from all my years playing FIFA that a lot of people are in a rush to get to the goal and try and score as quickly as possible. Sometimes that means we don't pick the right passes. As we can see in this clip here, I'm going to recycle the ball. I have the ball with my striker and I'm looking for my other striker or my midfielder that's making an advanced run. I noticed very quickly that he's got both of these passes covered, and this is when I make the decision that it's best to recycle the ball and be patient in attack. Here, I pass the ball backwards and I notice that the area of the pitch is very, very congested in the middle. As a result of this, I go out wide to my left back. He's got the space to attack, and my aim here is to try and bring out a couple of them players in the middle area. It's way too congested to create a chance. So my aim is to try and attack the space as much as possible to start pulling his players out of position. I drive forward and we can see a couple of his midfielders have now come out to engage with the ball, and it means that I can rotate the ball around the area and try and find the right pass. So I go back to my midfielder who goes into my striker, and now we're in a very, very dangerous position. We can see that recycle has helped me get to this spot here. As I get the ball, the pass opens up to my striker and that's where we get the goal. But this wouldn't have been possible at the start because it's way too congested at times. So I advise using the wide areas, using every player that you can in attack, and then gradually pull your opponent out of position to find the right pass at the right time. So now that I've taught you all three tips, we're going to see how can we piece these all together to create the perfect attack. We can see here on the edge of the box, I have no options. I'm not quite sure where I want to go next. There's nothing going forward. So we use possession in attack first of all to make sure that we recycle the ball and go out wide. I'm now out wide. I've passed the ball into my right midfielder, but I'm not quite happy with the options that I've got. So I use the player lock of the fullback to try and get another option involved here. We can see I use a player lock and he's not quite sure what to mark. He doesn't know whether to mark the player who's making the run or if he marks the player who's on the ball. It causes this confusion in defence, and now I managed to get the ball in a 2-on-1 situation. I'm now out wide, and my thought process is, how can I use a driven pass to get in the box quickly and create a good goal scoring opportunity? We can see here I've triggered the run, and I'm going to get a driven pass between his centre back and his centre midfielder. I wrap the ball in, get the shot off, and there we have it. A goal goes in. I've been Tom. I hope you've all enjoyed my 4-4-2 masterclass, and I'll see you all on the pitch.